I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about one way you can make your ex mad. So, when we're going through a breakup, we can feel absolutely helpless. And we get very anxious, we get really confused, you probably feel like you're in a fog a lot of times. And, you can't even think straight. So, we're just like consumed and by these obsessive thoughts. We can't stop thinking about the situation. We can't stop thinking about how to get them back. What we can do to reunite with them and, make things better. Oftentimes, we do things like begging, pleading. We do the grand gesture. As you guys know, they never work. And there's something else that we do that I don't think I've really touched upon in other videos yet. And that is, we go to their friends and family. We go to our friends, or our ex's friends and family. And we do this for a bunch of different reasons. We do that to try and get them as an ally. Like, we feel like if we can get them to be on our side, it will help our cause, right? We do it to try and get information. We do it to try and get them to even spy on our ex sometimes. Like, tell me what's going on. Some people that you're close to may help you out and give you that kind of information. Or sometimes we do it to maybe tell them, tell their friends and family to tell our ex, work it out with us, give us another shot. And it doesn't really work like that. And I can tell you from experience that I did that with one of my breakups, big time, where I went to the friends and the family, the mom and the sister, who were completely shocked that we had broken up. And I knew that they loved me, and they wanted me in the family, and they always treated me like family. And so I knew that they would, be there for me in the difficult time, and they were. And, at first they were giving me a little bit of information, and whatever they told me, it was just like, oh my God, I'm getting something. It was so much better than not getting anything at all. But then I realized, the information didn't feel authentic after a certain amount of time. It felt like it was like they're holding back. They don't want to tell me stuff. What is it they're not telling me? And that just made things worse. And the other thing that was even more important, I guess would be the way to say it, is that she got pissed. My ex was furious at me. And not just at me. She was mad at her mom and her sister for confiding in me. And she was like, I don't want you talking to him anymore. And she was telling me, I don't want you talking to them anymore. And she was really upset because they were on my side. And she was angry, and she was like, they're siding with you, and they're, taking your side in this, and I hate it, and I can't believe they're doing this to me. Didn't work at all. Sure, it got me a tiny bit of information, but in the long run, it just made things even worse, because now she was angry at her friends. Well, not in this situation, it was her mom and her sister. But, you're going to see situations, you try and go to the friends, they're going to be angry at the friends, they're going to get angry at you, they're going to feel like you're intruding, and it's simply not going to do anything to reattract them. I understand you're extremely anxious, and you're trying to get any bit of information that you can, but I can tell you, it's going to backfire. And when they find out, it's going to blow up in your face. So I got 2 emails here today. The first one is from Whitney, and she said, "Hey Craig, just have to say, Your videos are outstanding, and your knowledge of relationships is unlike I've heard. I think she means anything I've heard. I was absolutely hooked and blown away, and I swear you're the only thing that keeps me going every day. I hope you don't ever get that writing staff because I love your jokes. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way, so thank you for all your hard work and sacrifice. Well, thank you for the kind words, Whitney. But if I can afford that writing staff, I got to get somebody in here because my jokes are awful, right? Let's just be honest. They're bad. They're bad. So she goes on to say, I got dumped by my boyfriend of 3 years about a month ago. I did everything wrong. I have made things go from bad to worse. I begged, cried, told him I wanted to die. I had a meltdown. It was bad. I made a fool of myself in front of him. Well, I think most of us have been in your shoes and can relate. About a week later, I came to your channel and it all started to sink in. I was very close with his family. His mother is still messaging me a few times a week. I thought I could trust her as we had a really good relationship. Well, you know that doesn't start off good when it starts off with, I thought I could trust her. It's gonna things are gonna go downhill real quick. I could see that coming already. One day, she invited me over. I wasn't sure if it was a good idea, but I figured she loves me. She seemed to be on my side and started telling me that he had brought me up to her several times, that he wasn't sure he made the right decision, that he was having a hard time with the breakup, telling me he had gone on a date with another girl, but he didn't really have a good time. Oh, you know that hurt. That had to hurt. That she found out he went on a date with another girl. But then at least you found out that he didn't have a good time, so that was probably like, yes! Alright. I'm not sure if she had this planned, but we started drinking wine. So I opened up to her and told her a lot of our problems. Oh boy. I told her that my ex hates her husband, his stepfather. Oh, that's not good. That he had occasionally done recreational drugs. I told her that me and my ex had done a threesome with his best friend. What the hell were you drinking? I don't know how much you could have been drinking that you guys must have been drinking wine by the box. Like, how many boxes did you have stacked up that you would tell his mother that? Like, seriously. Were you trying to get it back at him? It seems like you were trying to get back at him for saying that. Like, because, I mean, come on, you're throwing his dirty laundry out there. Like, maybe that wine took over, you started to get pissed off, you felt she was on your side, and then one thing led to another, but that is brutal. Oh my, I can't even believe you told that to his mother. Alright, she says, I know it was an all-time low. I have no idea what the hell I was thinking. I am such an idiot. Oh man, I mean, I don't know how drunk you were, but maybe you got upset, started crying, started getting angry, and just let him have it. He found out and is pissed. I can't imagine why. He said, don't ever talk with his mom or family again. He said he was stupid for ever dating me and that he wants nothing to do with me. Oh, he is pissed. I apologized and said I was drunk. That I had never told anyone else those things. But he hung up and now he won't answer my texts. I swear, your mother is the only one I told that we did that. That's it, just her. Oh, man. Brutal. Alright, she says, do you think he will ever forgive me? Well, obviously he's furious right now, and he's probably really embarrassed. And he's probably feeling like he can't trust you anymore because you let out some really private information to his mother, of all people. So it's going to be a while, I think, before he calms down, and a long time before he would ever trust you. But you said, do you think he will ever forgive me? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure at some point he will, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. That was pretty rough. And granted, there was probably a lot of drinking going on here, and maybe Mom did set you up, but I don't know. That's a tough situation. You're going to have to give him some time and space because he is furious right now, and rightfully so. Alright, I got a second email here from Kelly, who dated a guy for about a year. And she said, our breakup started over text messages. He seemed down and wasn't himself. When he said we needed to talk, I knew right away that our relationship was in trouble and just flat out asked, are we breaking up? And he said yes. Ooh. Are those not the worst words to hear in a row? We need to talk. No! No! Oh, man. I think I did a video about that, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. You might want to, if you ever hear the, we need to talk. Alright. 2 days later, we met up and talked about why we were breaking up. She said, because we were both going down different paths that don't coincide. He said he loves me, but he's not in love with me anymore. He also said that he wants space and time apart from me. She said that the two biggest problems in the relationship was a lack of communication and loss of connection when we were both stressed and anxious for different reasons. I guess I was pushing him away when I was stressed, and that seems to be a problem with me. Okay. Well, now that you're getting to be more conscious and aware of it, you can learn to identify when you're doing it and do a different behavior. Okay? Because I teach you guys this all the time. In order to fix a problem, you need to know what the problem is. Alright. She said when he told her, she was very calm and cool at first, and I could see why we had to break up. I was fine for about a week until I started to miss him terribly. I didn't beg him to take me back. I noticed that he watched all of my Snapchat stories before he decided to delete me. In one of my videos on Snapchat, I was hanging out with a guy friend riding roller coasters, and he saw them, but he wasn't in the videos, but you could hear him. Then a day later, after posting more stories on Snapchat and viewing them, he deleted me. Well, it sounds like maybe you were trying to use a little jealousy. You didn't show the guy in the picture deliberately, and it backfired. You know, you need to be very, very careful if you try and use jealousy to get an ex back or reattract them, because it can blow up in your face. Okay? And that's one of the things that I would talk to you guys about extensively in a Skype when we were coming up with a plan together, if you want to do anything like that. I'm not big into trying to manipulate people, but, you know, there are certain times where I think jealousy is okay to use. But that is on a case-by-case situation. You did it, didn't work for you. And I do give you guys ample warning on the consequences of it when we're delving into your situation, okay? Okay. When is the last time they spoke? 3 weeks ago. 3 to 4 weeks ago. We got into a fight after he deleted me because I was bugging our friends by talking about him. Here we see the same pattern. She said, we got into a fight. He deleted me because I was bugging our friends about talking to him and wanted to confide in them about how I was feeling about our breakup. They ran back and told him everything I was saying, and he got mad, which led to us arguing. You see, guys, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You think you're talking to the vault. The vault is opened, okay? Many, many times you think that you can trust people and, you know, they'll keep things quiet, and they don't. And like in my situation, when I talked to my ex's mom and sister, I'm sure they told her a lot of the things that I was talking to them about. But at the time, I was so anxious and so desperate for answers, I wasn't thinking clearly. So, she said, when I was talking to friends, I didn't want to push my ex away by not giving him the space, so I asked them. They believed that I was using them to get closer to my ex, which isn't the case at all. Well, it sure seems like it was, and regardless of if you truly were or weren't, it appears that you were. And so, in this case, I think you're going to be found guilty until proven innocent. And in which case, I don't think you're going to get proven innocent. She said, I simply needed to talk, or someone to talk with, since they were my friends too. A week after we broke up, I began to wonder if there was more to the reasons of why we broke up. And I mentioned that to them. And knowing my ex, he's very straightforward and honest, so part of me knew that the things that I've been thinking aren't true. They turned out not to be true. I knew they weren't true. And that caused us to argue, and he felt insulted that I would think of those things. Like, he feels threatened by my new career. And then he went on to how I'm not handling this mentally in a healthy way. So he was talking to me like I was crazy. Well, I think we kind of do get crazy in breakups, don't we? That's why a lot of people go do things like stalking and you know, saying crazy, you know, doing crazy things like, you know, threatening suicide, which guys never ever don't ever go down that road. Nobody is worth taking your own life over. No breakup is worth taking your own life over, okay? And you have tons of people that I'm sure care about you and love you, and you know, you end your life, you're going to be missing out on tons of joy in life in the future. And not only that, but what if your ex was going to come back 3 months from now? Think about that. Not that that should be any reason to not kill yourself, but your own life is precious and valuable. And sometimes breakups lead to amazing things. If it wasn't for my breakups, I wouldn't be here right now doing these videos for you. I wouldn't have my son. There's a lot of things that I wouldn't have. So I wouldn't trade those breakups for anything. And you might get to a point, and surprisingly, you don't feel like it now, where you feel like this breakup was worth it. Think about this. A lot of you guys tell me every day, if it wasn't for this breakup, I probably would have broken up with her in a couple months, but now I've come on to your videos, I feel like a new person, and I feel like I could really have the strategies to make it work with my ex this time. So, you know, there are a lot of positive things that will come from a breakup. Okay. She said, I never begged to take me back. I only texted him once of why he deleted me off Snapchat out of the blue, but he didn't reply to it. Ever since our argument, we haven't talked to each other once. She's got a few questions here. She said, so my question is, am I in the wrong? Wrong for talking about it with my friends. Well, you have mutual friends. Seems like you probably were trying to use them to get some information, and I think you might not even be honest with yourself here. You were probably doing it. You're of course you're going to deny it to him, but if you think long and hard about it, when you're laying at, you know, on your pillow at night thinking about it, I'm sure the fact that they know him had a lot to do with why you were going to them, because I'm sure you have other friends that don't know him. Right or wrong, that's a tough call. I'm not going to say you were right or wrong to do it because they are your friends too, but I will say I could see why he's pissed off. Right? Can't you? So, do we have a chance of rekindling our relationship? And I would say to you, there's always a chance of that. It's tough to say in this situation where he's at right now, but, you know, people revisit the idea of getting back with their ex all the time. Sometimes they break up with you and they regret their decision. Sometimes, after a little bit of time, they think, what the hell was I doing? What the hell was I thinking? This person was a great person, and despite the flaws, I really love them and want to work it out. Sometimes they think, thank God I'm out of that relationship. It was toxic. So, it's a little too early to say whether or not that's going to happen. But, you know, I know your situations feel hopeless, guys. I really do, because I've been there, and they really do feel hopeless. And no matter how well things are going with you guys, a lot of you always say to me, I feel like there's no chance of getting them back. And I'm like, you've got a good chance of getting them back. And you're like, doesn't feel like it. I know exactly what that feels like. I've been in your shoes. But believe it or not, a lot of times the situation isn't as hopeless as you think it is. But I will tell you this. Get a very, very small chance. And many of you guys will make small mistakes that you don't follow my words. It's very frustrating, guys. Please, 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 when we do a Skype together or I give you an email coaching and it's one-on-one, you gotta stick to the plan. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to take that tiny little opportunity and make it grow. And a lot of reattracting your ex has to do with your behavior. And different situations require different behavior because every situation is different. Every breakup is different. I'm telling you guys, all day, every day, no two breakups are identical. There's just so many different factors. You have completely different lives, completely different beliefs, length of time, length of commitment, or there's just so many different factors that you have to consider when we're looking at what's going on with your situation, that we want to plan it out. But please, whatever plan we do stick with it, because I know some of you guys are sliding and you're getting anxious and you're getting nervous each day that passes by. But I can tell you, I've lived it and I know how these things tend to play out. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, AskCraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. If you like the video and you want to support me, put a like on the video. I do appreciate that. Remember to subscribe to the channel, because I do post videos Monday through Friday. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.